It is time. Why is that like funky? Just trying to get things set up as usual. Fuzzy is always early. Why are you always early? You have no life. I know the feeling. I'm off for a week and I have no time to be out here. Well, I do. I just have so much that I want to do. Where are you working, Eiffels? Yeah. Next week for me when I go back to work is going to be absolute murder because it's like a week load of deliveries. Breaks. Oh, I could not work there for. I would be absolutely fatter than I am right now. Well, here, at least that's a wee bit better for you, a wee bit more constant. Thankfully, Christmas is over. That's absolutely stuffed. I've done nothing but eat since Saturday. Um, I just, I'm glad it's over. I'm now got the bonus money from work and some Christmas money that I've got. So I'm now looking to buy a tracker for the bike. So I'm now into research mode, trying to figure out which one to buy. And oh, there's so many. There's so many. But I hope you had a great Christmas, mate. I hope your new year goes well. I just seen that the guys from Away You Go are live, and I was like, maybe jump on there later if I'm welcome. I probably am, but I'm doing a thing where I'm going to try and be nice in 2022 to other bikers. I feel like she's going to be mad for CBT or something. Fuck, I hear you're going to be flat out. Fuzzy doing all that. That's not what I would be looking forward to. Yeah, I hold my hands up. I don't play nice with others. um, Last year I did the video saying this is why I don't hang around with uh, other bikers and bike groups, and unfortunately that video was dictated a few times to me in that group, and it was kind of unnecessary because I don't think most of them watched the video, but I'm trying. The guy Gary or Gaz or Gary or whatever he goes by, away you go himself. I've bumped into him a few times, and I'm stepping forward and admitting that I was a problem back then. So yeah, um, I'll see if they're on later. I doubt it, but I'll see. I can never tell. Some people, I find people hard to gauge, so it'll be interesting if I do get on. I got a comment on a video today going, I watched your video with the subtitles and I still didn't know what you were talking about or saying. Why? What did you do, Fuzzy? Because I know it's not easy to get from that group, and I know because I've tried. But it's not their fault. It was kind of my fault. Any plans for 2022, Zeds? There's a bed here. There's a bed here if you want to come and visit. Your girlfriend will kill me if I'm pimping out bed. What up, Alex? Happy New Year, mate. Hope you had a good one. And I hope you have a good New Year. This is the thing. I have so much I want to do this year coming, and so little time to do it. Yeah, Fuzz, you don't do that. You can do it on mine, you can do it wherever, but not on that one. Even I know that. I got shot for promoting one of my videos, and then someone else got banned for promoting one of mine. Hopefully, Alex, I'm going to be over for some sort of motorcycle racing next year. Some sort of motorcycle racing. Hopefully in 2022, Zeds, I will actually see Scotland. And I mean, when I see Scotland, I mean more than 100 mile of it from Cernryan. I'm definitely going to try and push a little harder this year to do even quick weekend trips and stuff. I've got the sponsor thing to announce in January. I've got a potential trip down south the end of January-ish. So I just trying to get time. Yeah, Alex, mate, I solely will only do Donington because I know how to get there and I know the area. The last Donington I tried was last October, and that was a bust because we got over, we were on the boat heading into Holyhead, and they actually announced on the boat as it was about to dock that they weren't accepting spectators. But a lot of people seemed to still get in, which was quite annoying because it forked out a lot of money for that trip. And the girlfriend was pretty annoyed because we didn't get to see any racing, which I was looking forward to taking her over for the racing. Hi, Fuzzy. Some groups you have to play nice in. Even I know that. But then I got that comment on my community page the other day. Why the hell am I here if you're just promoting yourself? Like, nobody else talks on this page. Yeah, Alex, I heard that. I had the tickets and they refunded the money within, I think it's a couple of days of the announcement, which, fair play, but I knew a couple of people who went over and were met at the gate and brought in and walking around with beers, and I'm just like sitting in a hotel at the other side of East Midlands going, I can hear the racing. Why can't I go into the racing? Fuzzy, I would do a group live, but half the people in the group will not participate because some of them just, I don't know. I've given up. Well, the XT Donkey community page was actually set up to not be about me. It was yes, it was run by me. It was a bit like the Spicy page, not like OnlyFans Spicy page, but it was like his page where everybody could talk to everybody, but it nobody does anything, nobody talks. So generally it did land with me just posting every now and again, trying to start a conversation. So it was. I keep trying. I do keep trying, and I know I'm going to keep trying until I get another comment like that, and I'm just going to shut it down in spite. But I've heard that that person is particularly hard to get on with, so I kind of just can't really do anything. Can't control what people think. But it's just the same. It's like, what can you do? I would not pay for Spicy's OF money. I wouldn't even pay for Spicy's or it's Patreon. I'll always give you a shout because I'm always on Twitter giving off about it. I am hoping to get over again. Probably springtime. I want to get the worst of the weather out of the way. Once the worst of the weather is out of the way, I can take a trip over and see family because there is family I want to go and see, and there's a load of friends that I haven't seen in a few years. So most definitely will give you a shout. Zed's, the person comes from your neck of the wood, so I would hope that you would understand her more. So, but I think a few people had commented under it. And there was no actual email to me or like private message explaining the context of it. I wouldn't have minded if there was an explanation behind it. And I do write on most of my posts in that group. This is a conversation starter. Talk. I'm actually hopefully out tomorrow. Hopefully. To continue the biker hotspots of Northern Ireland. So I am. I've got a bit of free time, so I'm going to take a bolt up the coast, and hopefully it's dry. Well, not dry, but it's not raining, and hopefully it isn't packed because a lot of people will try and get out. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Zed. I really do agree with you. Because I think it was like a good day after I posted. It wasn't as if it was like bang straight away, and I didn't get the notification until I was scrolling through my feed and seeing it. I asked them to get in contact with me, and it didn't bother. But I've had a few friends that have met the person, and even they said in person they are hard to deal with, which kind of gives me a bit of comfort that it wasn't. Well, probably something I said, like, but you know, when have I ever said something that I will not own up to? Did anybody get anything nice for Christmas? I got a load of warm stuff. The girlfriend bought me a load of like thermals and different bits and pieces, which I'm going to use. I am definitely going to use at some point. No, why would you use a block button? That's just moving a problem. I let the problem make a problem for themselves. Come and explain to me why, and I'll change. Don't explain to me. I'm just going to keep carrying on the way I'm going. Explain to me. Fully explains why I don't get test rides. Dealerships tell me what to do. I don't do. Also, hopefully in January, at some point, the first couple of weeks, maybe the third week, I am maybe getting an R7, the Yamaha R7 for a couple of hours. So I'm actually looking forward to playing with that. That is something I'm looking forward to. And then I heard the Americans waffling on about Yamaha's building or teased out pictures of a R9. So that might be something that I get this year. I swear to goodness, I will beg, steal, and borrow bikes to review. And I mean fairly popular ones. I have a person who has a CCM who's willing to give me it for a day. I think I can smooth a bike dealership to give me an H2, ZH2, a Ducati, and then I might harass, or no, actually, we might go down south to another bike dealership who have zero bike, the e-bikes, and I'm going to try those. And these are emails that I have literally sent within the last 4 days. And I'm getting positive replies, so that's another thing. But hopefully it all comes to fruition, because I would like to do it. I kind of want to get back on the saddle too for trying bikes, because I think it was Hippodrome said something the other week about being honest. Probably one of the only honest riders out there, which it's hard to be. It really is hard to be when that's the only thing that can make or break a channel. I don't like being that channel that's constantly doing test rides like certain channels. And the only reason to get those test rides is because they work in the dealership. It's common. And the popular channels do that. Or you're in the pocket of big bike magazine, newspaper, and then you're just having things. So it is really hard. I think I've said it a few times as well. And on like, if you don't have money, dealerships aren't interested. Finally wavered a couple of dealerships into helping me, which can always work. You know, it's one of those things. Nope. My internet being a douchebag. One saying healthy and the other just saying it hasn't got any signal. Yes, let's do all Wi-Fi. Try plugging in your router. We're moving closer to it. Well, there's a problem with that. The router's in the living room at the front of the house, and I'm in the back of the house. I'm in the midst of trying to find a cable long enough, or I'm still thinking about it, because the Wi-Fi in here has been grand for ages now. It feels like dial-up sometimes. I could probably kick the aerial or something, no my luck. We're looking at it, just what way we're going to have this office laid out and stuff, because we are going to keep the bed here, so it's going to be a try and work out where our desk's going to go, what type of desk, or I want to have a bigger monitor. I want 2 big monitors. So the decision will be made to run the cable from the front of the house round the outside, and we have a hole where the power for the CCTV comes out to the camera, so we can run it through that hole and then straight in the back of the computer, which is it's under this table here. So we're still sorting stuff out, but I think I have sat this week. I've literally edited the video that's currently just been released. There's the Q&A video, and there's a Friday video where I was finishing work that day for Christmas. Just random, but I'm trying to keep a steady pace of videos to come. Yes, Fuzz, we'll have to meet again soon. I was actually going to go down yesterday. There was the massive fire down in the docks. I was actually going to go down yesterday, but my bike's in a way that it's pointing into the drive, not out of the drive, and the girlfriend wasn't. She was sleeping, so I didn't want to have her ask her to get her to move the car. So this holiday's been a no bike holiday so far. So it has. Plus the bike's bogging, the chain needs cleaned, and the chain needs adjusted. But bright idea here decided, I'll wait until I get stuff off my sponsor. God knows. But it's just trying to get everything set up for the start of the year. As I know, my watch hours have dropped. And I know it's not about the watch hours before anybody flames me if you are watching this, but I had a mission. I sort of set a goal in my head to try and get this many for that time, and I got right up to it, and then I just lost it because I lost interest at the redundancy, changing jobs, busy with a new job, and then just couldn't be bothered doing videos. So I've kind of gotten myself a place now where I'm happy to do videos again and happy to talk about things again. So it's kind of one of those things. I'm just preparing and sending all these emails away and trying to get, like dealers to help and stuff like that. I'm kind of promising or I'm organizing stuff, which then I kind of have to stick to. I know my luck the first month of January I'll butt heads with another YouTuber, TikToker, Instagrammer or something, which will be hilarious because I've done it so far. TikTok's a very, what can you say, childish place. There's a lot of people on there willing to call you old and you're a child, and then you've got your old bogies who dick rave about what bikes they've had and how fast it can go, and then there's the ones who just blatantly show themselves breaking the law and think, oh, just because it's YouTube, nobody will see it. And you're like, I like to point that out because you get so much reaction from them. But what I have noticed is TikTok is very like Instagram. After a certain part of the winter, it's all videos from summer. Which you just leave a comment saying, yeah, it's summertime. And their brains just explode. it's very hard trying to get videos organized and people interested in. It is stupidly hard at the minute. Stupid Russian comments. Vladimir Putin. Any plans for the bike? Yes. Tracker. I want the tracker. I've been looking at the data tool Stealth, and then someone made me look at the data tool Adventure. The Adventure is a bit more than what the Stealth is, but it's the same price. The Adventure one does direct to 999. Looks like something I'd be interested in. But other than that, I'm talking about maybe. Well, no, I'm not talking about it. I'm actually going to do it. Top box. I'm going to order a 50-litre top box because I have the rack now. Other than that, really, it's just keeping it. I might have to do headlights and stuff or upgrade the bulbs and stuff, but that's about it. I did want to get like a power commander for it, but I just don't want to at the minute. Other things I've been considering is a better shock. I want a better shock for the back and maybe get the cartridges for the front. If I'm going to do the back, I may as well do the front. But again, it's all about money. So it is. Fuzzy, you should organise a group, right? With who? Because it would be you and a couple of your mates and then me and nobody else. Like a few Northern Ireland moto vloggers. You're probably luckier to get peace in Northern Ireland and find more than 10 motor vloggers from Northern Ireland. Plus the bad experiences I've had with other ones from here is, yeah. But it would be something that we think about, but it wouldn't be like I'm running it. It would be like, I'm going to this run. Do you want to come? And then whoever comes could come. At least then I'm not legally bound to look after you. I can bugger off if I want. But no, it is an idea, but I mean, it is something that I've thought about, but I've always, it just can't be. And then the rules behind it, and if there's, as you say, pack of 10, I think it's over 10 people. And it's organised, has to go through the police and the parades commission, and then it's risk assessments and insurance, and liability insurance. So it can become a pretty big nutshell at times. Maybe this year I am going to start going to a couple more bike rallies and stuff. So maybe reconnect with some of the bike club ones and go over with them as an independent or, a partner of them or whatever. Because it was something I liked to do, but it was time consuming because you're having to set aside so much time, and then you're dealing with other people's schedules. It can be a nightmare at times. But we can see this 2022 can be anything. Hell, you can get Ash out. Ash got a new bike, didn't she? I'm sure she got a GSX or something along that line. Definitely would be probably more than likely if Ash's club was to run an event, I would go to that because they are a great bunch of people, and I know most of them, or I know some of them. Didn't actually realise Ash works in the tattoo place on the Shore Road. I was passing a couple of weeks ago and I seen the bike outside it. I was like, is that your bike? And she was like, yeah, that's where I work. And I was like, I didn't know that up until now. I thought it was somewhere else. Yes, yes, it was the 750. That's going to be a weapon. Going from a 1.2 or an MSX 125 to a 750 is 750 4 cylinder, isn't it? I think it's a 4 cylinder. So I mean that's going to be nuts. Double notifications for uploads. No, nobody ever says to me anything about my uploads. I do see that there is so many who are emailed through or who are told through notifications. Um, I have seen that I get that stupid email every couple of months or every month now telling me my views and my hours and my subs and stuff. And it's kind of helpful, but it's not really. I haven't heard nothing about the double notifications because was it the video I just released, the latest one? I did set as a premiere just to see if it made any effect on the reaction to the video, and from what I've seen, from it, it wasn't a major difference than normal. My first sort of views come in around the first 48 to 72 hours. Another spammy comment. I'm attracting the Russians tonight. Must be doing something right. I say there was only 2 people watching the premiere, which is kind of just the first couple of people who normally watch. But I mean, it's engagement is better, reach is better. I don't want to go down that nutshell that all moto vloggers go down at some point and go, oh, but we're being suppressed, because they're not. 9 times out of 10, the only reason they're being suppressed is because YouTube now wants daily uploads from everybody. Because, it's just the way they are. Have you found your vid set? Have you noticed any difference? I haven't really noticed myself. I'm having to push videos a lot harder, but it's winter. It really is. I know the next one I release is going to just fall flat in its face because it's in the dark. I was riding to work and I recorded a video and it's in the dark and I know it's going to tank. So I'm kind of expecting it. Yeah, you see, I kind of try to space it out over the week, but I don't have specific days because it is pointless. Traffic moves. YouTube did have a thing where it did, after you processed so much information, it did tell you when your views are highest, and I tried to stick to that. But I mean, you can tie a boat up; it's still going to move. The premieres, I feel, are something that if I've hyped it up and people are legitimately waiting for it, I'll stick a premiere on because you can actually get it to email you when you're like an hour out. And when the video, and it just means if I set it as a premiere and I have free time, I can sit on the video too and talk to people in the chat. I think that's the only difference. But normally when I upload a video, I'll sit for a couple of hours or a night and reply to comments pretty sharpish. So, well, because it's different. Sometimes you just, like, there's videos where I've released them and I just fire and forget them. Just away they go. And then 2 months down the line, I literally sit and reply to all the comments. Yeah, you see that? I've been at what? I was at 147.18, 1,418. It dropped to 114.12 or 1,412, and then went back up, and then went back down, and then went back up, and then went back down, and I just give up. It's really, people say when you're trying to do YouTube, is like, oh, just ignore the views and ignore it. It's very hard, especially when your audience is asking for certain things and you're not delivering that and you expect them to stick around. I was asked a couple of weeks ago by a friend how I think that certain big moto vloggers keep their numbers. And if you take, now this is no hate towards him, if you take Spicy, for example, Spicy was always moto vlogs. And then that changed over lockdown because you couldn't go out. And he was pretty much toeing the party line if you can't go out. And then, so he did the build series on one bike. And then he did the build series on the other bike. Two pretty much really good series. Don't know because I didn't watch them. But then he also does the photography page. He has a different page. He has the engineering page. Like, if you're going to do different ones, you're obviously going to garner different audiences. So I think it's key interaction. I reply to comments as they come in sometimes. YouTube doesn't do it. Yeah, I've had that myself. I'll be sitting here and a comment will come in, I'll answer it, or I can't find it. And you're like, where did it go? And I was like, constantly digging around, looking for comments. And then I have comments that I have not even touched, and they're like 10 months old. But that does fall in the period where I was kind of losing a bit of get up and go, and I was always out. So I only ever know, I only 3 people, May, someone else, and someone else, always comment. And then it's normally like a week or two, and normally get another trickle and another trickle, which is good because it means I can deal with them as they come in. Was it like my Q&A that I did was like 4, 5 questions, 3 or 4 questions, and I literally did a video that is like, where is it? The video itself, where I am sitting here with my GoPro to record it right in front of me, is literally 7 minutes long. And I know that video is probably going to do better than most. That's the thing, Fuzz. It doesn't take a personality. Anybody who says you have that personality doing this, they're lying. The problem is you would probably benefit more from recording all summer, doing your videos all summer, uploading them, and keeping them private all summer, and then when winter comes, posting in the winter of your summer. And then while that's happening, you're recording when you can through winter, which then brings you into your spring and your summer, which then you can do again. To me, it is keeping on top of things, keeping people talking about what you're doing, trip, trip. Don't go down the route of a giveaway every 2 weeks. Don't go down unless you have the money. Don't be getting stickers the first day that you start blogging. Don't be spamming people's comments too about your page. Go on and talk to them and let it flow, and then mention you have a page, because that's what I didn't do that. I just didn't talk to anybody, and then I met up with ones in England who helped me. Yeah. I mean, I look at it now and again. I love you do that feature in channel content where it gives you all your videos, and I have to laugh because my highest video was uploaded in 2016, and that video is 2016 Yamaha XSR 700 Cafe Racer. 46,296 views. Okay, the dislikes is 88 to 22, but like tracer video. No, was it? No, I did a tracer video. This is the irony I find. I did a tracer video in 2015 on the 25th of July 2015, and it is exactly 10 minutes long, and I hated it, and I said it in the video. 4,500, and not one person's called me out on it. But I did a tracer one, the 16th of February 2019, 5,000. Once a video's live, I do not care about it, the way it goes. But it's always funny to see which ones are making the most headway. And the one that surprises me the most is yeah, it's up the top. How to take the front seat off a 2018 Tracer. 9,900 views. 10 dislikes to 95 likes. It's bloody insane how things work. 100 vlogs in 2002, 2020. One vlog during the season and the rest uploaded in the winter. Yes. Partly what I try to do is, what I actually try, and I try so hard to try and push a video to that point. Once a video hits 100 views, the next one's recorded, edited, and ready for the couple of days after, and then it goes live, and then push it to 100, and then push it to 100. You know, try and stagger it out. Sometimes it isn't possible. It's just not possible to do things like that all the time. Obviously, for people like yourself, you're not out in the summer, or you're out in the summer all the time. You're not out in the winter, so it's better to bulk and then process in the winter, because it keeps the channel going, and you do your lives too, so you kind of have that. It keeps your watch time up, and it keeps everything sort of ticking along. But sometimes it's hard. I mean, people come into this thinking that it's easy, but it is definitely not easy. I cringe when that's. I might do a video soon, or a live stream soon of watching my very first video and see how that goes. There's Paul. How are you, Paul? Just so you know, Paul, there is a Q&A video coming out soon where you have asked the question, and it is in that. I just got round to it the other day, so. I was actually looking online the other day. I find it funny. Everybody's selling their tickets for the Isle of Man. Everybody's selling their boat space on the Isle of Man. It's as if they know something's not going to happen. Can't see it happening. How they can let that happen and be safe at the same time is going to be really hard. One video a week. Given you could do it, you could easily do that, Fuzz. I mean, it's even if you're uploading it on a Saturday when you have, edit it through the week and then throw it up on a Saturday. It works. It does work. And then when you get more, when you're stable again, and you can start bumping it up, or maybe you're off for a week and you have nothing to do, just wing a couple more up, or go and record a bulk load, which then frees up 3 or 4 weeks. And I definitely think last year I lost out with a couple of the big trips because I didn't record them. I had recorded the ride for the NHS, but I kind of just didn't want to post that one. Not to mention there was stuff in it that you couldn't show, but there wasn't really. But it was like, it wasn't even talk worthy. It was warm. I just wanted to get home. And you will get videos like that. You will get videos where you just don't want to make it. I went out, made a video, and decided, no, that's poop. Or you'll go and make a video and think it's the best video in the world, and there's a fly on your lens. That's why you see me impulsively keep wiping the lens. But it'd be good to see you uploading again. It's kind of therapy at the minute, for me especially. Don't worry, Paul, when it comes to the winter, 9 times out of 10 that just disappears. I think I've actually sat a couple of times through the winter so far, and I've been like sitting there, and Lisa's like, "Are you going to go and watch like some of your videos or some of your friends' videos?" And it's like, no, because nobody's doing them. It's one of those things, as you say, Paul. You could end up with tons of videos to watch, and then nothing to watch. Seven 780 plus photo vloggers. Jeez. Said you're at a different level to me. If my battery dies and I'm out, my battery dies. Joe. Brakes are fine, but I have to go back on Saturday next week to get a new pin put in the back because the old pin was a bit old apparently, and basically sealed it in with Loctite. But I might go up and get one of them fries again, because that fry was lovely. I could do with that again. I'll probably do it in a wee second, or about 5-10 minutes, Fuzz. You see, Paul, that's see the jumping in and out of live streams that I can't do. It's hard to keep track of. I'll comment on videos. I comment on a good load of like motor vloggers and the higher end ones, and I know I'm not getting a reply. But when I like watch about 10 like smaller YouTubers and they all reply and they all start striking up a conversation, it gets really hard to deal with. Or I'll reply to a comment on mine and then it just starts an argument, or not an argument. It just starts a conversation, and then you're sitting there one day looking at it, going, "Jeez, I have all these messages, and it's just one person." So what's that, Paul? That's 781. Mate, it was bad that last day I was standing in GS, leaving a puddle on their floor. But I get that fitted that week, and then I'm going to talk to him about a tracker, get the tracker fitted. Not straight away, but I'll go to them to get it fitted, depending on what tracker I go to or go with. And then I want to try that. Was it Rick Spike Shop? Or Rick Spitz or Rick Spike Shop? It's further on up. It's up your neck of the woods. I have said they would call in, and I'm going to start doing like a dealer/shop review thing. So it'll be fun to go up, because I've never actually been in that shop. Apparently, he has bikes in there for sale, and he offered me an MT-07 for an hour. I was in the mindset, and he did it for longer, but a guy was actually buying it off him, and he says, "When I buy it, you can have it." Like, okay. That says that's. I mean, like, there's people like Paul who watch so many videos, and I don't know how they do it, because I struggle to get through half of some of their videos. Paul and May is one of the other ones that religiously follows everything, which fair play to them. I think it was on. I think it was a group. We were talking like on a Discord about videos and stuff, and I was asked how much I like watching their moto vlogs, and I sort of looked at them, or I sort of turned around and says, "Have you released anything?" And they're like, "Yeah, I released one every 2 weeks." And I was like, "I haven't seen anything." Lo and behold, I had unsubscribed from them like last year. For the simple fact is they were doing stuff that just didn't interest me, and I said that to them, and within about 5 minutes, I had an unsubscribe, and it was just like, oops. They were a bit fragile about the conversation. So they were. Plus 2020 might see me actually opening another channel, or trying to revive one of my other channels to start more fishing-y stuff. Because I'm buying a fishing license this year. This is one thing that I wanted to do. Buy my fishing license and start going trout, salmon, and pike fishing, because I haven't done it in years. And now that I've moved in with Lisa, I have got the time to do it. So it's just like, I get paid enough. I can buy that and go and buy some cheap stuff from Decathlon and use it and see how that goes. But I also want to try and make a go of it as well. But I definitely want to keep them separate to see what actually happens, because sometimes it gets a bit hectic. But I think if I'm doing stuff that I like, and even some of the stuff on the fishing will benefit the bike, because it'll be like how I carry a fishing rod on a motorcycle, or what I carry in my panniers and stuff like that there. And once I get the top box as well, it'll make it a lot easier. You see what I mean? You did. Am I reading that right? Not easy to make a video to shout out 700 plus motor vloggers, but I did it. I did do it. How did you do that? 700. Is that like a Mr. Beast thing where you just sit and just say names for like 24 hours? How did people do that? I don't know. Well, no, actually, you think that, Joe. You think that. But Decathlon have one that fits in the backpack. And when you go into Decathlon and put something in your backpack just to measure it, you should see the look that security gives you. Plus, there's a private lake up around Grace Hill, Cullybacky, that I want to talk to the club about. You talk about. They it's a private one. I want to talk to them and see if I can get a pass because they fill it with something called Titan trout, and I want to bloody well catch a Titan trout because these things looks like they're on steroids. So they do. They have good folding ones too, and I don't want a folding one. I want a separated one. Them telescopic things are rubbish. But I know if I get into the fishing, it's going to be a slippery slope because then my brain goes bigger, bigger. But I didn't realize how people are so protective over their little private lake. Jeez. And actually, I went fishing when I had the XT 660 with a, what was it? I don't know, 18, no, 18-foot beach caster. That was my 18-foot beach caster I had at the time. And I bungeed it onto the side of the bike. And everything else was in my backpack. And I swear to goodness, it was like, what's that, jousting? And I literally rode down to Carrick, rode up the pier to the end, and literally sectioned off me only area. And when I got cold, I just ran the bike for 5 minutes. So it is doable. It is, but I know what you mean. You have a fishing rod sticking out like that. The first telegraph pole is carrying power. You're going to be toast. We went on 2 consecutive live streams. Rev Bombs UK stream, then Military Bikers Canadian stream. Total sell. Gee, I actually get anxiety before I go on the live stream. At one, if we ever do go on one. No, I don't need a sidecar. I need a, what do you call it? What do you call a 3-wheel thing? The 3-wheel Yamaha. I want one of those. Would that make it easier? No, actually it wouldn't. I'm gonna check because I'm subscribed to your page. I think. Get one of them Can-Am spider things. That would make it look a lot better. Oh, that's why I can't. Oh, right. Sorry, Paul. I've been looking at the wrong part of your page. I have a lot of catching up to do. I have a lot of catching up to do. I will have to start watching. Yeah, I would love it. Play devil's advocate here. I would love a Niken. Just because, just everybody hated them that much, just makes me want one that much. But if we are going fishing, then they have a lot of stuff the girlfriend wants to go to, so just bring her. Oh, class. I've heard about it. I don't know about you, but do you know you can get whiskey barrels, the big whiskey barrels, and do a trailer out of one of those? I've seen them. They are pretty class. I've seen them like the micro caravans too that are like the width of this table. That would be class. That would be something to see. Like, does your service dog wear glasses, Paul? Like the dog was it doggles? They're called doggles. There used to be a guy here who went to all the charity runs, and he had a big boom trig, and it had all these little pods all over it, and every pod had a dog in it. There must have been about 7 or 8 dogs in this one trig, and I'm talking from Chihuahua right up there. He was like a Doberman in one of them. Don't know how you would manage that, like, but just looked at Facebook there, and the first thing that popped up was Northern Ireland set to review COVID. Blah. I was like, bleh. Just leave it alone. A lot of people do it with beer, not even beer ones, the wee metal ones. I wouldn't say would be big enough, but like the big whiskey barrels from like Guinness or something like that, or Bushmills or something. You could probably turn them into like a camper, an overnight camper sort of thing. Joe, if you're still there, what bike you got now? Are you still wheeling and dealing? Oh, Australian sheepdog. Oh my god. Just turn a couple. I've seen it done, Fuzz. I've seen it done. What camera are you using to stream? It is a Razer KO KO KTYO. It's got a ring light and a mount so you can set it on a stand and stuff. How does it look? Does it look alright? Because the one I'm looking at here on Streamfarm looks, yeah, and the one on YouTube looks fairly decent to be honest. But I know the streaming thing that they use is limited to 720, where the camera does 4K, I think. Oh, my mate Tingle's here. Yes, I remember you saying that now. But see, the KO it still retails at like 100. I definitely did not pay £100 for it. It does up to 1080p at 30 FPS. But I know because of streaming platforms and stuff. Tickle, thank you for coming. What movie is it you're watching? Anything that I would know? I think partially it's to do with the lighting too, because of a freaking chandelier, boys. A chandelier was here when I turned up. I think it was here when Lisa moved in too. But no, I do really like this one. It comes and the software for it. It has its own sort of control panel. But I'm probably going to start looking for a program that's going to make it look a lot nicer. Yes, I like your live stream. Thank you very much, sir. I do my best. I do think my. Did I do it again? Did I forget? Yes, I also mentioned you again, Tingle, in this new video that I've released. I think. Yes, no, I did. Because I just seem to mention people these days. I try to be real. I mean, that's what people hear. Like, I would 100% want anybody who watches this to call me out on anything. And I mean, anything. Ever. If they think of being fake, I need to know. Oh, we got another Russian. Block. It says Hippodrones. Hippodrone said it about my reviews, and I kind of pride myself on my reviews. How much is the StreamYard posh one? And is it any better? Is it worth it? I'm going to possibly harass my local leadership to let me take out their Himalayan because I want to try one of them. Blame Adam for it too. Thank you, sir. It means a great deal. I think you lie would, yeah. If I thought that, I'd be riding something totally different. But this is what it's all about. I try not to be that person. We all are, Paul. We all are. You know, every now and again I do flash the cash and buy some super unleaded petrol, and then swiftly regret it because I see the price. This is there's a group of us who are talking about petrol prices, and some of them are in the army, and I went, "Can you boys not go back to war or something, or pick a country that's useful?" And he's like, "Why? What do you mean?" He's like, "We need cheaper petrol prices. Go back to war so I can have cheaper petrol prices." But it's okay because these two fellas, they're, as I call them, war dogs. I'm going to the BSA factory soon. They are not keen on filming, so I might only tweet them. How do you do this? One point you make me go ooh, and then the other point you make me go really jealous. Joe, you will absolutely love anything that Tingle puts out. He's into all that filtering about and all that there mad stuff. Tingle, we're still Northern Ireland's still on that 145 petrol, 160. I think the dearest I pay for super unleaded is $1.50 a litre. That's not too bad. Tango, how did you get to go to the BSA factory? And where is it? Is it in India? Because is it not an Indian company that owns BSA now? And as you're saying about the no filament and stuff, that's just the CCM factory all over again. Man, I was so raging about that. Keep trying to hurt. I was actually going to harass them again to see if I could make a return visit. Ah, that would have been so class. Can you maybe persuade them to do the filming? And probably not what you want, but get them to do it, because technically they will be able to follow the rules that they have set down. You, on the other hand, mightn't, if you know what I mean. Because I know when we did the CCM tour, it was like, I really want to go inside and I want to film. And I know at that time, especially, they were releasing, whatchamacallit's bike? Foggy. They were releasing Foggy's bike, and it was behind that bloody curtain that they kept twitching. And the other two fellas were in and out. And it would be nice to go back just to see. I understand at the time when we were there, they were bigger. Or no, they weren't. They were smaller. And I know they have all the access or the extra warehouse space and showroom space now. So I'd actually talk again. I think the group we had that went was actually really good until I got the puncher coming out of Bolton into Manchester, and Nadja had already went past me. And then I had to get from Manchester to Holyhead with a front tire that was really flat and going down pretty quick. I think I went through, like, it must have been like 2 bottles of tire oil about this big all the way home. Oh man, that was such a trip. Literally a whirlwind trip. If there was ever a trip that I have done so many miles in so little time, the Bolton trip was the one. Yeah. Personally, I think that CCM trip was one of a kind for especially smaller people. I think it's like any company; they're going to take promotion from higher people, but you're not going to get the realness that group had. I'll say it there and then. It was a trip that I would hate to see them go down that route of the big ones. Old habits die hard. I was so hungry that morning. I had the steaks that night too. So and the fire sitting in that front room. Oh my god, it was so warm. Wayne's Moto? Never heard of it. I'd have to check that out. Worst trip I ever done was Belfast to Limavady on the Keenway. Mate, my worst trip on a 125 that was barely working was from Belfast to Carrickfergus. The thing kept breaking down. CCM said thank you and then get some inquiries from our visit. So good. Yeah. I mean, it that trip for me was what? Let me work it out. I think I know the trip was a mean one. So if I do a trip, CCM motorcycles, Beale Street Bolton. So that trip was 286 miles one way. It says 6.5 hours on the boat, -3. So that's, say, go 4 hours actual riding. So I left Northern Ireland, down to Dublin, across the Wales, into the CCM factory. I went the day before the actual tour, landed in Bolton, met you guys, went to basically went to the factory, had the whirlwind tour of the factory, listened to the bike parked outside getting revved, and then back on my bike and back to Belfast again. And I would say I travelled 130 mile with a flat front tire held up by tire weld, which says you're only allowed to do 50 mile an hour. And I can guarantee I was doing in excess of 70. That, the whole thing, the whole trip, it just made me happy to do. And I still talk about it to this day with people that ask me what's the best thing you've ever done through YouTube. Well, what have I missed? Oh, yes. My box of Krispy Kreme. I got home and there was only 2 left. I get stressed out and I eat. In my defense, I'm allowed to. Yeah, because I was late to work the next day. When I got home, I was late to work the next day because I had to go to Charleshurst and get the tire fixed. They took the inner tube out, and even the mechanic couldn't find the hole in the tire, or in the inner tube. And it turned out it was a snake bite, a very small snake bite in the tube. The tire had nothing on the outer casing, nothing poking through the inside of the casing, nothing. Just this little snake bite in the tube, which bloody impressive. But by God, I was still watching. Run flat stuff off the bike for about 3 months after that trip. It was definitely one of the best times. And that's the first time I met Madja too, because she was on the SV with the cream seat. And I forgot his name. Oh, who was it? The scruffy guy. I was going to say scruffy, but I mean it in the nicest way. He was on one of my streams too a while ago. I can't remember. He was a decent guy too. Really nice guy to talk to. And he did some work for OMG Racing at the B&B. Yes, Wayne. Yes. Oh man, that was good times, that one. I'm going to harass him. I'm going to harass him and ask him for another tour. Because it was, the time we went over was when Bolton especially was very rife with bike crime. Because I had bought a chain and lock, and I was carrying a metal bar on the side of the bike. Well, strapped to the side of the bike. The metal bar was there in case it broke down. because I remember the night I got to the hotel, met Tingle and your son was we had dinner, we had a few beers, we chatted, and I went into the bedroom and I literally watched a video of these two fellas on a scooter on the road that we were on and outside the hotel, run up behind this other bike, stop the bike and take it. And I was like, that's outside. That is literally outside that door. Did not feel really nice after that. So where did I get the flat tire? Where was it? Wardley. Just outside Wardley. Just outside Bolton. Well, actually, just a couple of miles. About 10, 15 miles. I was coming on I took a wrong turn. It was just before Wardley. I was coming onto the on-ramp of the motorway. And I turned the bike and it dove. And I was like, oh no, I don't like that. And it dove again. And I was like, what is going on? And then it was really hard to steer. And that's the first time I've ever experienced a front tire puncture. I thought, yeah, I'm the same. I have my friends in England. They've got Ross, you've got Dutch Rudder, Crumble, my mate Chris, Big Pete Harslow on Instagram, and his mate, or his couple of mates. I haven't seen any of them, and I was even meant to get over to the show, but the show, there was too much fitteriness. It was too expensive to start off with. The brakes needed done on the bike, but then they were expecting to do my COVID app wouldn't be accepted over there because I needed a letter from them, and it was like, do you know what? I am not jumping through that many hoops. And then this was about the time that stupid virus was starting to spike again. Yeah. Like, I actually still think I have your number. Actually thinking about it, I actually still do. It was really hard to go to the show, and by the time I'd seen how much the bike was going to cost me, it was like, yeah, I'm pulling the plug on that. It's not viable. A reason I didn't get over. Yeah, no, most definitely. My director of my new work lives just south of England. Southampton, I think, somewhere down around there. And he says, "Oh, come over and visit." Don't say it to me because I will. I definitely want to do Wales and thing this year. Wales in the Lake District again, and maybe Scotland. Because I know Epic Adam is talking about doing the NC 500, so I might see when he's doing that and maybe try and meet them somewhere halfway and do the bottom end or the top end and see how that goes. But I definitely need to do something this year. Do it, I know. It's one of those things as well. I'm all for going, but some people are still a bit virusy. So they are. Which I don't blame them. I mean, a lot of people are, and a lot of people have their reasons. But and what does it say? I need off this damn rock. Maybe call down, Joe, if you're still watching. It might call down to the Citadel. Give them the fingers as I'm passing. Because I've heard a few stories coming from the Citadel. Man, I'm the same sense. I haven't seen Ross in ages. I snap him now and again, and I really should be in contact more. But I mean, he's flat out. He's forever working. And I know he's got that bite that he has now is the TL back, so I was like, I need to go over. I just haven't seen them. As I was talking to Crumble the other day on Twitter DMs, I was just finding out what he's up to, and he's moved again, and he's no real interest in coming back, and sort of like, we need you back, and he's like, oh, I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see what 2022 comes out like. I think of a tour coming over March, April, May, that are looking to do the Wild Atlantic Way, and they've asked me to escort them. I have never done the Wild Atlantic Way, and I said yes. But mine will be the more accelerated version because I need to just do it. I want to go down and meet up with the Gorilla Biker and a couple of the other ones that live down that way, because I promised them once and then it just didn't bother me arse going. So I did, and then it was just like, do you know what? I need to do something. Yeah, mate. I've said to Grumble that he has missed. Things change. Well, I want to say things change. I don't speak for him, but I would love to see him come back with his original stuff, but I don't think that's possible in this day and age. The one that he keeps getting cited for is the road rage video, and nobody has ever watched it. Well, nobody really watches it till the end, where he literally is in bed with the person, and it is bloody fantastic because I have seen that on the news and on them action cam things. Joe, have you not heard? I heard that Alex has left. I heard that someone chopped their finger off with a bike chain. Just so many stories, lad. So many stories. I need to go over. I just want to go over. Yeah, I mean, I talk about the road rage one all the time. It's brilliant. It was a work of art. I'd never seen it go in that direction. Genuinely thought it was real myself. And Joe, the best thing was, I don't know if it's the best thing, Sigma Sports, who took over Wiggle and Chain Reaction, went on to the stock exchange the exact same week that made us redundant the year previous. Oh, it's so fun. I've seen so many complaints coming from everywhere, and it's just laughable. I'm actually going to see Johnny on Sunday. Hopefully going up to see Johnny on Sunday, if all being well. It's just, I've never left somewhere and then thought, fair enough, and then heard all the stories coming out and just laughed. And the boss was just, what are you laughing at? And I was just like, oh, mate, I tell you. It's just so fun. Joe, what's that in English? What is that in English? What's WAW? Oh, I like the one about someone chopped their finger off, because what was it? Who was it to tell me? Someone told me they chopped their finger off because they were doing cranking it up, and they just stuck their finger in. I think it was the brake rotor or the cassette, and they just stuck their finger in. Like, how? They're under that. It just seems like they're under that much pressure. It was McLaugh, half a cock McLaugh was telling me. because unfortunately I work with him. So, but he was telling me someone had told him, and Alex had put up. I'm not friends with Alex on Facebook, but he had put up something. Finally leaving the concentration camp. Oh, it was so fun. Oh, mate. I got a Merry Christmas from Tom, the supervisor, but I didn't reply. I think I replied with some other stupid like GIF or something. Joe, if I'm ever up your way, mate, I'll give you a shout. If you ever know where your way is or remember where it is. Because he's still live. Well, they are still live. But no, it's so funny. I had my first workplace accident. I drove a forklift into the racking. Yep, it hurt. Didn't hurt me. It hurt the racking. And for anybody who knows, if you ever see orange beams in the warehouse, I turned one of those straight beams into a 90-degree angle. Just by a pure silly mistake. I'm telling you. Yeah. You're saying W-A-W. I don't know what that means. I'm planning on a 1,499 trip. Gee, that's one thing I'd love. Well, how long, Paul? How long will that take you? How long will that take you to do that sort of mileage? Oh, Wild Atlantic, you could have said that. Well, mate, we can talk about doing it ourselves. Like, I'm not talking about spending like a week doing it. I'm talking about doing like part of it. Then the boys are coming over in April, May, are paying me to take them. I want to do it where I can take my time at it. Should take 2 days. Jeez. That's my highest mileage so far on a bike is 2,000 miles in 3 days. But that was 2,000 miles divided over 3 days. Six, I would say, yeah, it was pretty backbreaking. I take 2 days and then 2 days back, and then I may stop. Yes, that's what that's the sort of trip I like. I think, Joe, to be honest, it was a bit of both, because even Niall apparently was complaining about the quality of people. But I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to these. I haven't seen or heard anybody who actually went over. Because I know Alex was all for going and staying, and then he left. I was like, what? So we did. See, that's the sort of trip I like. Nice long trip that could take even longer. So it's just sometimes it's just laughable. And the old Doak, no, yeah, the Doak warehouse now belongs to G&H, or it's rented to G&H, with the possibility of buying. And then White Park is now Woodside's. It's owned by Woodside's, or Woodside's bought it, and they're turning it into something. I might actually go up around that way when I'm up on Sunday, just for the hell, just to see what it's like. Part of me just wants to cane it down that road again, because that wasn't sketchy at any point. Nice seeing you, Seds, mate. Have a good weekend. Have a good New Year's. Don't be drinking too much. I am out Friday night, so I will be having a lot of drinks. I'm now a whiskey drinker, apparently. I'm going to start drinking whiskey in large amounts. Have a good New Year, mate. I'll speak to you soon. Maybe get you on for one of the interviews that I did. The one that did the Adam, I'll get you on. Do one somewhere. I know I've been over an hour and 30 minutes. Or an hour and 35 minutes. We'll give it Lord 10, 15 minutes. But then I'm going to heat because I am knackered. Because I'm old now, you see. I can't function like a bloody human without having to sleep. But no, it's interesting to see how things actually panned out once I did leave. And now deal with shipping. Definitely more complicated than what I thought it was. But it's just, they were good days. I posted a picture and it was like Gareth lying on the ground. I haven't even seen him since like the start of the year. But I actually might need to get Gabby down here because he could deal with my neighbours. He's close to Roma, so we get him down to deal with the neighbours, and at least then I won't have to yell at them. Right, I'm going to wind up because I'm starting to lose track. Thank you very much for everybody coming and joining. I actually had more people join this time than I have ever, and I appreciate everybody's support over 2021. I hope I can entertain you in 2022. If I can't, you have full permission to call me out on it. Paul, I will be catching up on all your videos, so you may expect a whole load of likes and spams or messages coming through. As they say, don't forget, like, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Doesn't take much. I'm not here to spam. And yeah, keep it lit. If you can't keep it lit, let's kick 2022's ass. And hopefully we'll be a wee bit more free than what we are. Thanks again, and have a great new year.